So, good afternoon, everyone. Happy to see you here. So, this is actually third or fourth time I have been having a speech at Pocket Gamer. Last time was 2 years ago when we were in another venue. And that time I talked about more about the critical ops and esports things, but now I'm going to talk about what happens when your company grows too fast. So, short introduction. I'm Veli-Pekka Piirainen. I've been entrepreneur since 1994. Founded 6 different companies. I used to work also at Supercell as a studio manager in Kajaani. Almost 1 year, and we made the very first mobile game for Supercell at that time, 2011-12. Then I also worked at Kajaani University. I established the game development curriculum there, and then I founded Critical Force 2012, so 6 years ago. About the company itself, so actually the employees are very hardcore gamers, and they are aiming to build the best mobile multiplayer games, mobile games for gamers. We could say that we are a global market leader for real-time mobile multiplayer FPS games. So you think about Fortnite, but luckily it's third-person shooter, so our game is FPS. And we are building the largest mobile FPS community in the world at the moment. We have got some nice awards and recognitions. We were chosen as a Finnish Game Developer of the Year, 2016. And we also won startup competition Kasvu Open here in Finland, 2015. So that was also great success. We have got funding. 2 years ago, we had got $4.5 million from NHN Entertainment as a seed funding round. And this year we also got additional funding from Business Finland, about $6.3 million, partly grant, partly loan. About the game itself, game is still in beta, so version 1.0 is coming slowly, but it will come. And then we can say that we have kind of version that we like the game to be, but of course the development continues all the time. We have got lots of positive reviews, especially on Google Play, over 45 million downloads, combined all platforms, so iOS and Android, and without paid user acquisition. So the game has been fully viral. And so we have made only some tests with UA, so paid UA, spending a couple of thousands per month to find good ways to have cheap user acquisition. And we have also reached 1 million daily active users. And now I tell about our company story, which is true. And probably it's a story that has happened for every company that grows very fast. So in June 2016, we were a happy startup. We were bootstrapping that time, developing the game. We were only 18 employees, so we would say that the company was one team, or one team was a company. So we could say that we were one big happy family working hard together. So we worked hard, had big dreams, we had lots of passion, and our salaries were kind of like peanuts. So we worked with very, very low salaries. For example, myself, I didn't take any salary at all that time. And then boom, 2016, we got the big investment from Korea. And then we started to grow fast. So we had money to hire people we need. And in the beginning, everything felt fine. We had lots of buzz going on, new people coming, everything looked very fine, everything feeling very great. And after 1 year, we already had 47 employees, and from 8 different nationalities, and 3 different teams already. So we had 2 development teams, and then we had HR team at that time. So we believed that autonomous teams is solving all the problems, that we let the teams decide by themselves what they can do the best. And actually, that has been working very well so far also. The teams work very well. But we really didn't see the problems, what we are going to have in the future. So there started to be miscommunication. The more people we had, the more rumors there start to be. People start to communicate different way because have different cultures, so the cultural differences. People understand or understood things differently, which also caused miscommunication. We had also space problems, so that time we had about 250 square meters space, and we need to renovate. That was a very uncomfortable place. It was not easy to use the whole space. There were lots of waste space. So we started to renovate the office. And we made it so that we renovate half the size of the office, and when it was ready, people moved on another side, and then they renovated another part. And that, of course, caused problems, especially when you are packed in a small place. There's air problems and also the noise what came from the construction site and so on. And also later we rent another part of the second floor where we are and renovate that later. So that caused also some kind of interruption. So it would have been better to rent right away the whole floor and renovate a little bit different way. But we grew the office space as we grew by ourselves. Also, there came certain kind of uncertainty when you have more people in the company. For example, there start to be worries that are we going in the right direction, or are all teams going to the right direction? Inside the teams, there was also some kind of uncertainty about that, especially when we had the second game team, that what they actually are allowed to do. So we believe that, okay, they are game developers, let them decide what they do, what kind of game they do. But the team was quite young and also unexperienced, so there came lots of uncertainty. Where to aim? Are there any limits and so on? Can they do what they think they can do or not? How much money they can spend? How many people they can hire in the team and so on? And there started to be also small fires here and there, and lots of time went distinguishing the small fires. There, for example, there were with some people have relationship problems, and also these small problems can easily escalate as bigger problems. And for example, we lost one good Spanish employee because of that there were miscommunication, and he felt that he was not treated well enough. And it was just miscommunication. The other person just didn't mean what the other person understood. So after 2 years, 78 employees, 14 different nationalities, and 6 different teams. And also a studio in Seoul, in South Korea. So we practically quadrupled our amount of employees in 2 years. So this is a very important picture that I found in that book. So when company size grows, the organizational capability declines, but same time complexity of operation grows. So in certain point there start to be capability gap in the organization. And that kind of gap you have to fill somehow. So I really recommend reading this book. So it's already in Finnish and the English version is coming quite soon. So we realized that you need to really define company's vision, mission, and values. It's a basement of the company. And it practically shows the big goal somewhere in the future. So what kind of games you will make? What are the company values? And how you structure the vision, mission, values as a strategy and as a goals. Also, we find out that our management, including me, was quite unexperienced, and it didn't scale up same time as the amount of employees. So, for example, came lack of when the production team grew up, there came lack of producer capability. So we need to hire also assistant producers and so on. But especially on the C-level, we found out that we cannot handle this. We also found out that the organization and the processes should be in place and clear for everyone, for every employee. And it also means that job descriptions for defining the roles and responsibilities are very important, that people know what is your role, what are your tasks, what are your responsibilities. Otherwise, there comes overlapping between people. For example, there was a small misunderstanding that 2 artists made practically the same thing because they were in different teams. So one artist in the marketing team made a marketing banner, and one artist in the development team made a marketing banner. But that's a small thing, but it showed that there were that kind of problems. And autonomous teams would work best if the people in the team are senior and they know the things they are doing and they have done it before. So young teams always need more leadership and steering. So growing too fast without proper structures is a big mistake. I talk about Slack. Yeah, Slack is awesome. But Slack is a good servant and a bad master. Because there's lots of problems using Slack. It's very addicting and reactive, so people actually are all the time in Slack. When there comes a message, they answer. Also, it makes them follow the Slack. So, and it decreases face-to-face conversation. So people send a message to a colleague who sits opposite of you. They communicate with using Slack, not face-to-face talking. So it really decreases the face-to-face conversation. It's also very disorganized. It's very hard to find discussions. It's very artificial, very transparent. So there are many hidden and secret discussion groups that you don't even know that they exist. There are certain people like in a capsule talking about something, and others don't know about that at all. And Slack grows possibility for misunderstandings a lot, which cause negative effect in the relationship between employees. And one good rule is that don't even think about joking in Slack. There's always somebody who really don't understand the joke. And then that's gives him or her bad feeling. And so many custom emoticons. This is what we have at the moment. So we really, who knows what they are? What is this? Who the hell understands? I don't know this. Still, I don't know what it means. Is it positive or negative? I don't know. But what saved us in the first place? So we had excellent teamwork, and we have had a great company culture. That saved us a lot. But it also kind of covered the problems we had behind. So how did we fix this, or started to fix it? It's still under construction. So first we hired a consultant to facilitate our organizational development. So we had a company-wide gathering for 1 week. So also our team from Korea came to Kajaani, and we had like questionnaires, workshops, interviews, so that we tried to pinpoint the pain points. So what things are not so good in our company, and what problems we need to tackle. And we found 4 most important. So we need to fix our strategy and company goals, our communications, roles and processes, and also player understanding. That rise also that many of our employees were kind of worried about that, do we really understand our players and our customers? And we create a steering group which handles everything. So steering this kind of, we have SWAT teams there. So one SWAT team tackles communication, and all the members, about 5-6 members in each team, it's like a mixed composition. There are employees, there are team leads, and so on. But the most important thing is that they are interested in developing the topic. For example, these SWAT team members, they are very interested in to improve our communication somehow. And then we wrap our sleeves and start to improve the things one by one. So we have got already results. So we have achieved quite instant results. So there came enthusiasm and positive buzz inside the company, and the whole personal team started to already communicate and help each other. And we also started to reorganizing our management. So we need acknowledge what we really need there, and so on. So what we have to do, what kind of person we have to hire in the management side. And also short-term results that we have really started setting small but achievable and measurable goals for the teams, that they have something to target and reach little by little. And as a long-term result, we will have better communication processes and efficiency, which means scalability, that we are ready to scale in the future because the foundation is solid. And that means always profit. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So yeah, I mean, absolutely the kind of critical thing, isn't it, of growth is understanding how you keep people talking. And I remember being in big companies, and it's still the problem there, but in some ways it kind of feels oppressive that you've got these structures and these job specs and you've got to follow these processes. But when we see the experience you've gone through, you can kind of see why that happens.
Yep.
Does anyone have any questions? Or are you shy and retire? Anyone going through this experience at the moment? Oh, there's a question here. So we'll come back to the question I was about to ask. I did see a hand for a question, so we'll do that and we'll ask the question after.
Thank you. What did the investors think about these problems?
Actually, our investors have been very, let's say, they really haven't cared so much about what's going on. So, Anison Entertainment has been very interested about the development of the game and the Asia version of the game because they are going to publish the game. So what really happens inside the company, they haven't cared at all.
Cool. I mean, the question I was going to ask was, how many people are going through this in their company at the moment, this cultural change? So, how many people think they're going to be going through it in the next 6 months? Yeah, and actually interesting how many of the people whose hands are already up will stayed up. It is absolutely true that it's an ongoing process. It doesn't come to an end. On that note, I'm going to have to say thank you very much.
Thank you.
And